Hey guys, what's happening? Just getting out the messages, letting everybody know we're getting ready to go live here. Just trying to set up the chat and everything so I can watch it. If you got any tickers or any questions, just throw them up in chat. And let me just throw this up to where I can see it here and we'll get started. Excuse me. I've got a couple things I believe. They're not anything that's going to pop off today, but I think they're worth looking at, and there's a little bit of news and stuff on them. So I think altogether it'll be pretty decent. All right. So with that being said, let's get into it, I guess, right? Let me see. You got Bazinga pulled up. Let me post this on Discord. Okay, so one of them I've been looking at. Well, first off, let me show you this. There's two things I want to show you here with the SPY. This is the SPY ETF. It's pretty much it's the S&P 500, so it's a good way to see how the market's going to do. And I picked up some SQQ, which is the inverse of the Nasdaq. There's also an inverse for this if you're interested, but I picked up the SQQ. I just know it a little bit better. But one of the reasons why, if you look, every time that spikes down to the 200 and comes back up, we have another little spike back down to the 50-day shortly after. I think that's just where it's cooling back off. And I suspect that that's coming within the next day or two. So I picked up some, we go to look at the QQQ. This is like the Nasdaq one. But this is yeah, right here, the QQQ. So yeah, this is a Nasdaq one. If you see, it does the same thing, except this one comes down to the 100-day. It comes up, it gets real hot, it needs to cool off and bounces. And we've not done that yet here on this one. I'm guessing it's coming the next day or two. So the SQQQ, 3 Qs. I don't know how many times I said that, but it's S and 3 Qs. This is the inverse triple leveraged of the Nasdaq, and you can see that it's down right now. So it's the inverse of what we were just watching, how it goes down and comes back up. And I'm suspecting that it's at least going to come back up to here. So it's only, you know, it's cheap enough to where you can buy 10, 20, 30, 50 shares, whatever. And you need to if you're going to play this by shares, which I did this time. Because you can see if it only comes back up here to around this area, you're looking at, for every 10 shares, you're looking at about $5, $10. If it comes on up to here, then yeah, you're looking at, what is that, $12 for every 10 shares. So it's nothing you're going to get rich off of, but it's a way to play the market when it's down without options. But you can also play options on it. And I don't like playing the options on it unless there's already signs of it going down, like kind of like as a day trade option. So if we look right here, I would say that this only has, no, it's got every day. So yeah, you could play the same day, even like zero expiry calls and stuff like that. But you can also see they're super cheap. So if you come and you wanted to play, you'd play calls on this one because it's the inverse. So even if you wanted to play it to the 8, it's $26. If you want to play it to the 8.5, it's $15. So when I actually see that, and you can see that there's actually a lot of volume on these. So when I actually see that tilting down in the morning, and it looks like it might be a bad morning starting off, that's when I'll play this one. Yeah. So one guy that we've been playing back and forth, I've mentioned several times on here, is CLF. You know, the play here is whenever it hits the top, you play puts. Whenever it gets to the 200 or below, you watch it bounce. Then you play calls or shares. And we can see that it's bounced. I already played calls on it right after this one, and it reached, I think I played, it was 22 or 23 strike. When it reached it, I sold. So I believe with the news and stuff, it is going to come on back up. I don't think it's going to be one of these like this and bounce around for a bit. There's some good news coming out about it. Let me show you that real quick. Well, I can't show you shit if I don't have it pulled up, can I? Sorry about that, guys. I was in a rush trying to get back here. Give me 1 second, I'll have it pulled up here for us. There we go. There's Benzinga. So you can see I've already been looking at it here. Let's get rid of this right now. So you can see just today, their employees has hit 75% vaccination rate. So that's, you know, on the good side of news. Right here is what I like, is this one. It's a guy talking about how he bought into CLF, and he's glad he did, and here's the reasons why he did. So CLF is due to be a big beneficiary from a bipartisan $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. Now, guys, we've talked about this infrastructure bill several times. We know that it's you know, going to get passed. They've worked most of it out with the they worked it out with the Republicans enough to get enough votes to make it pass. Hang on, let me get a drink. Yeah, I had something in my throat there. Okay. And we know that it's good for things like EV, building, infrastructure. It's going to be great for that. And that's exactly what they do, is that kind of stuff. But, you know, this is a good article I posted on Twitter. I think it's worth going and taking a look at. This one's actually good to buy shares or calls. Guys, I'm working on that Robinhood account that I showed you that I only had like a couple $100 in. I'm thinking about, you know, after the Hood thing, I lost a couple $100 in. I think there's only like under $300 left in it. And I was getting ready to close it out and just go with the Webull account I have. And I said, you know, that would be a good thing to show y'all that you can build a small account up and how to build it up. So I'm hoping to have that ready to start next week. Just showing you how you can build a small account up with just a couple $100 up to $1,000. You know, if we play it smart and do it right, it'll probably take about a month. We might get lucky and get it done in a couple of weeks. Who knows? It's just the way the stock market goes. Depends on, I mean, we are picking a rough time to try to do this in the fall. Seasonality is usually not the best for stocks in the fall. But the way we play these dips, I think that'll be a good time to show you that you can make money in a down market, or at least a volatile market, things like that. So hopefully starting next week we can I can get that. I just want to make sure that I don't have any information on there that can get out, you know, because it was the account that I started out using. Um, you know, just want to make sure that all that's taken care of, and you know, legally I'm not doing anything wrong by putting it up. Okay, so let's get into, guys, I posted a video on AMC, why I think it popped. I think it's a pretty good video, and right there, and why that I think that, you know, it could get pushed down, but overall I do believe that it's going to get a boost that it needs, and my hope is that it goes back up over 50. I know in the video that you know, I'm kind of like giving like a little rally cry at the end, you know, let's get it up over 50, but that doesn't mean I think that y'all should buy in. Of course, you should do your own DD, your own research. You should look at a stock yourself and never listen to anybody about buying a stock. Do your own due diligence. But you can see, like right here, this is definitely, as fast as that is, this is definitely a mix between a short attack and profit takers. You know, some people have been in it since 33. They got in it during that dip, and they're ready to take profits. Mixed with how quickly that's fallen, that's definitely a short attack. And they probably picked a good time when buying pressure. I mean, look at this volume. 194 million. I've not seen volume on this stock like that since it last closed last time. I believe we are seeing the beginning of the next little, at least maybe a little gamma squeeze coming, maybe a full-on squeeze, I don't know, but I think the way it's starting to feel and the way it's starting to look is that we're starting to see that. I don't believe we're in it yet, but I believe we're close. Alright, another one that we had that we've been in for a while is MMAT. MMAT's another one. I believe we're close to some type of squeeze. I believe that the shorts that are in it are getting tired of dealing with it. They're looking at it as another AMC, mixed with, here lately, the meme stocks have been popping off one by one. I mean, hell, just off the top of my head, we had GME, AMC, Support, MMAT, and there's a couple others in there just pop off just in the last day or two. But if you see right here, we are getting higher lows. So look for this. If it doesn't bounce here at this 200, we might be seeing it go back down to this 338 mark here. Another one, guys, that I've been looking at that I'm trying to remember which ones I put videos out already. If I haven't put a video out about this one, I'm going to. Right here, Uber. If we pull out to the 4 hour, I think I've mentioned this before, maybe even in a video, but it's kind of like the spot and the Roku play. We are looking for this trend channel down to break the price to break up out of this trend channel. It did break up out of it today, but it did so with such gusto. I guess you'd say the RSI was extremely high. Right here you can see that it's cooled down on the 4 hour. It's not that high, but if we come to the 15-minute here, you can see, look, that is way over bought. So it has come back down. And what I'm looking for is it to come down maybe to the green 50-day before it takes off again, because it just had too much of a pump to not be able to cool off. It may not make it all the way down there. I mean, it is hanging right around that 15-day EMA, but I don't know. You know, like I said, I could be wrong, but I look for it to come down at least to this 50-day and bounce up again. If it does that and it confirms this to be the new support, then I'm going to get rid of the trend lines and we're just going to go by support and resistance lines. And I think that may be a good time to start looking at trading this one. Me personally, I'd already bought some shares in this one, but I'm not going to play the options until I get a little bit more confirmation on it. Guys, Ford did great early this morning. We can see that it's held its own. It's rode this 15 and 18-day EMA so long. It stayed so bullish for so long. We've got to see some pullback. If not, then the longer it rides up like that, the bigger the pullback. You can see even right here, normally it only pulls back to the 50, but where it's rode like that so long, we're probably seeing it come down to the 100, maybe even the 200 before it bounces off again. I ended up closing these out and taking profits on all these today. I did a couple of them this morning on this first bump, and then again on this second bump. And when this presses again, I'm going to end up probably playing it again. I think I hit 25% with one of them, and about 20 to 22% with the other. Something along that line, I can't really remember. But you can see that even with the RSI and the MACD. Guys, again, I've got a video out on charting indicators and what the ones I use and why I use them. I think it's a great video. It helps you understand why this can be a good thing to use. And then I've got some more videos coming out this weekend I'm breaking down each individual one. So the EMA lines, the RSI, and the MACD will all have its own video about it. Kind of the same way we did with the candles, trend lines, and support and resistance lines. I made a longer frame video about it, and then I made the shorter ones to break them down. Zanga pulled back pretty good today, and now it's popping off. It did the same thing. It was running hot, ended up cooling off. It come down and got oversold, and now it's popping. Guys, to be honest with you, this is a shorted stock. It's not a heavily shorted stock, but I do look for this one to maybe consolidate here a little bit before it takes off again. I was hoping it would reach the $9, and it almost made it there. It made it to $8.95 before it cooled off. But ultimately, within the next week or so, this one should be back up to $9.50 to $10. We'll see. You can tell that the well, I can't pull that up, but you can tell that the MACD is starting to become bullish again. The RSI is getting higher lows, so it's all looking good again with it. Palantir, I posted a thing on Palantir yesterday or last night, I don't remember, about it. Looked like it was forming a head and shoulders. I know some of y'all was asking me, well, is that not a double bottom? Well, it is until it breaks out, but usually a double bottom, the center V, I guess you'd call it, is not higher than the other two. But I mean, there are times when it can be, but when you see them like that, usually it's going to be a head and shoulders. But always wait for that confirmation to tell. When it come back down to the 50-day, I ended up buying puts on it, so we'll have to wait and see if it's going to use the 50-day as support and bounce, or if it's going to come on and go lower down to the 200. So I based the play off of if it comes on down and goes to the 200. The fact that the 100-day is not up over the 200 yet makes me think that it's going to come back down before it bounces up again and lets that 100-day become over the 200. That's usually the way these go. Usually you'll see the 50-day come over and then the 100-day, but you'll see them bounce or consolidate until that happens. And I think that's what we're seeing with this. Usually, guys, once this breaks that neckline is usually the confirmation you want to wait on. You can see I jumped the gun and played it off of the 50-day. But usually this arm right here that I'm pointing at is usually about at least how far you can see this side to come down once it breaks that neckline. So, like I said, I did jump the gun early. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. If we was to draw, right there. Let me darken it up so you can see it. So that's the neckline right there. That's the one you want to see it under. That right now, if it was to come right under it right now, that is at 24.22. But you know, if it goes on to the next day, then it'll be 24.27, 24.34, you know, because it's kind of trending up a little bit. Alright. Now, let me take a look at chat and see if there's any questions y'all got. Guys, if there's any tickers, any questions whatsoever you want me to look at, just post them there. We'll take a look at them. And I just now realized y'all didn't see a damn thing of that, did you? I'm sorry, guys. I've been getting in such a hurry here lately. Right there's what I'm talking about. You see it? The neck and shoulders. So, again, let me show you this. Sorry. Right there, that's the neckline. That's the one we want to see it come down below. Wow. I'm sorry, man. I was trying to rush back home. I had to run and go do something, and I got a little mixed up, so that's my bad on that one. So if you got any questions, anything like that, just point them toward me and we'll take a look at them real quick. If not, we'll run through them, and if there's no questions or, you know, our viewers have died down or whatever, then we'll just end the stream. I know today's kind of been a blah day and not many people have been trading too much. D-Nut is another one, guys, I'm kind of like bullish on right now. I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback with RSIs been the way it's been. You can see that the MACD is a little bit bearish, so I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback, probably down to this 1598 mark before it makes another jump up. You can see on this last one, that's the way it kind of stepped up and stepped down. Yeah, it looks like it may be making a bounce right there. I'd probably do better by adjusting this. Yeah, see with this, all them now, that makes a better support line. We kind of have a weird looking head and shoulders with that one. So you see, that's a perfect example about what I was talking about with the Palantir. You see how long this arm is here? That's about how far it shot down here before it bounced. Now they can keep going, I mean, other factors included, but usually that's at least how much you can expect from a head and shoulders is what that arm is. Alright guys, if there's no questions, I'm going to look at some day trades and then we're going to call it, I guess. Look at this one, is that right? It's up 222%. Wow. And look, that would have been a nice bounce, but usually that's a... No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. That is a good sign for a bounce. Oh, no options. Man, that would have been a good little play. What else do we have here? This one might end up doing something too, ADTX. Let's take a look at some of some of the ones we got to look at, and then we'll come back and take a look at them. And there's not some bad ones on here. Oh, wait, crap. Let me take a look at skills real quick, guys. So skills, you can see it kind of broke out. Now we're looking, you know, come up to that 64 mark. The MACD is still bullish, but I'm looking for this pullback and bounce. If it comes on down, look for it to retest this 988 support. But if it does bounce from here, look for it to keep on going up over the 50-day, heading for the 200, then heading for this resistance. And that's a nice little bull flag right there. That one might bounce. What's that look like on the 3? It is close to that 100-day, so we'll just have to wait and see what that does. Oh, looks like support came back up. Let me look at some puts on this real quick. I don't know if I have enough left in this account to play that one. This is just the one I started for the channel, and I didn't put, you know, just a few bucks in it. Yeah, no. Oh well, it was a thought. No, I'm gonna go ahead and buy them other account. Give me 1 second if I can find it. Okay, yeah. So I picked up, let me show you here. I picked up these $10 puts for the 17th is the ones that I ended up getting. I got them for $170. I might pick up a couple more. No, that's close in. We can get to the 17th. Man. Let me see if there's any messages here. Anybody want me to take a look at anything? Yes, Disca, yes. I'm in Disca. Let me show you this. Now, I'll warn you right now that it's not confirmed on anything. I'm just going on my own DD and everything right now. So let me break you down what I've been thinking about on this one. Okay, if you've watched my video, or if you haven't, it don't matter. It sold off back here, not to do any fault with the stock itself. It sold off. It was called the mother of all margin calls. The largest holder of Discovery shares got margin called, and I think it was JP Morgan ended up selling off those shares. And whenever it come down so far, some other big names in it decided, well, it is a little bit overvalued right now, let's get out of it. But they didn't get out of it just to stay out of it. They got out of it to buy back in at a lower price. And you can see from these jumps that they did. And when a stock starts U-shaping like this, that means selling pressure is dying down and buying pressure is picking back up. Now, I look for this to be a little bit of a longer hold. I look for this to probably at least be another month before you see any really, really good profits off of it. You can play options on it now and make some decent money. I've been playing the options back and forth. Where we at? And our puts. So yeah, I've been playing the 30 and 32.5 option calls on it. And you can see the 32.5 even has 12,000 open interest volume on it. So it's a good little bounce play. But you can even see right here it's kind of double bottomed. But ultimately right now, you can see that this 50 has been acting as resistance. It's popped up once or twice, it's come right back down. And we're over it again, but now we're also close to the 200, and we're starting to pop up over this 100. So I think once this gets over that 200 on one of these bounces, that's when you're going to start seeing more people buy in, more people liking the stock, and I think that that's coming within the next month. Now, with that being said, if we look at potential gains on it, I'm looking for it to at least, right now, within that month I was talking about, go up to 35. But I know others that are talking about it are talking about a lot more, just even within that month. But if we go up to even that, that's 21%. Now the other one we was talking about, the other mark was 45, I think. Yeah, 45.73. So if it goes up to that, well, can't show you like that, can I? Let me just get rid of that one, draw a new one. If it goes up to that one, that's 57% return. That is a 57% return on your money. So if you put $100 in that, you got $57 back. Now, there's some even touting even more from it. They're saying that, I'm going to actually have to go to the day chart because this is not, they're saying that they're using a Fibonacci scale, and they're looking at the around the 70% mark return on it. So if we use that, that's roughly about where it's at. And we go up to, I did that wrong, I forgot you're supposed to go backwards on it. Right. No, I had it right, I'm sorry. I did do that right. So let's go down here where it's the best at right there. There, that's right. So if we come to the 78% mark here, that's at 66.86. They're saying that that's what they're looking at, and if we go to that, that's 126% return. And if by some chance it goes all the way back up, that's 161% return. So guys, at any level, this is going to be a good play. And it is going back up. The only question is as to where. You know, is it going to be that 45 mark? Is it going to be the 50 mark or the 66 mark? Or even all the way back up to 77. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a longer hold, at least a month or more. But I do believe that it is going back up, and I believe it's going to be one worth holding. Let's see if you got any more questions here. But yeah, I'm not playing call options, at least until it gets above that 200. but I went ahead and bought shares in it. I just think it's at too cheap. I think I got mine on that 26 dip. I paid about 27.5 per share. Let me see. 27.26 is what I paid per share. And guys, if there's any other questions, any tickers, whatsoever you want me to look at, right now is the time to do it. It's just been kind of a day. Yeah, just a day, ain't it? I was mentioning earlier playing calls and buying shares on the SQQQ because I think it's going to have a little pullback in the next day or two. But the inverse of the SPY, I think, is SPXS. Does that sound right? Yeah. This is the bearish SPY right here. XPS XS. This is the triple leveraged bearish SPY. So if you wanted to play it on the SPY, you'd play this one. The SQQQ is the NASDAQ one. So QQQ is NASDAQ's ETF, and then SQQQ is the inverse of it. I don't know why it's showing like that. Right there, you can see it had this little pullback right here, just like it did there. And each time it has this pullback, it has a little bounce up. And that's what I'm looking at, is that little bounce up. And it's cheap enough to where you can get 50 shares, you know. And the calls are cheap too. Hey, no problem, anytime. We did look at CLF. Bought calls on them today. There's some decent news out. I posted on Twitter if you want to look at it. I played puts on Palantir, but you know, the safe bet would be to wait for it broke the neckline. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that this is going to come back at least to the 200 before it takes off again. Oh yeah, here's one we was talking about playing puts on. This one. I believe this one's coming down to the 200. Tomorrow I'm buying puts on it. I just want to make sure that's confirmed under the 50-day before I buy any puts. It kind of double top just like it has before in the past. If we look at the right here, like that double top, or that double top, that double top. So this is pretty much a pattern play. It's like CLF. It's a pattern play. Then once it gets down here and bounces, I'll play calls or shares on the way back up. But the MACD is very bearish. The RSI, it's starting to get oversold right now, but I don't think that it's going to cause a little bitty spike up, but it's still going to continue down in my opinion. Well, guys, if there's no more questions or whatever, I'm going to wrap this one up early since there's just nothing really going on today. So if you got any questions, now's the time to ask them. If not, we're just going to wrap them up. I've got some videos coming in the pipe today. Um, I've got some how-to videos coming this weekend, and I've got some stuff coming to Twitter. It's just been one of those days, guys. The only thing I really have to offer right now are option plays and a little bit longer plays. I do think they are safer bets. I do think that they are good plays, but overall there's just no quick and easy money to be had right now unless you want to really risk a lot. There was a pullback. If we come here and look at this real quick, make sure y'all seeing this. There was a pullback on AMC. So that might be a dip buy opportunity. GME had the same pullback with a bounce. And then MMAT, metamaterials, we can see that it's bull flagging out. So with this double bottom and this flag, I look for this to kind of hold. Yeah, see, I hadn't got there yet, but we said it was going to come down to 200 and let the RSI cool off before it goes again. That's exactly what I expect. If you look at the 15-minute, you see it's come down to this 50-day like we was talking about there earlier, and then it's probably going to pop back up and ride the 15 and 18-day EMAs on up. I do think that this is not done. I do think it's going to go higher, but guys, in all honesty, only time will tell. So let me see if there's any questions. Nope. If that's it, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Look at Twitter for some stuff coming, and look for the videos to come. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of me on Twitter. You can get a hold of me on Discord. Any of that stuff, I don't mind to answer any of your questions. But check out those videos. I think they're really good, what I've got out there. The how-to videos, the charting indicators. That's one video I'm very proud of. I think it really shows how charting and indicators can really help you with your trades. I've also got one where I think AMC is popping off right now. I've got one on Discovery. The sport one is playing out right now, but I got one on Skills, Spot. You know, some really good plays that are still available in there right now. Alright guys, with that being said, you have a great day. Hit that like button and subscribe button, and check us out tomorrow. Bye.